Welcome back to the channel. This is Alpha Omega, and we'll be discussing about Malakai Makaisson showcase, the gameplay of the showcase of the gameplay, and it was very interesting because I thought they would come out on Thursday. If I'm not mistaken, that was it was a pattern to it for the last two legendary lores, but I guess I was wrong on this one. They announced it this morning while I was working. And since I have the day, the day off, quote unquote, day off tomorrow, I will be able to upload this sooner than I thought. Okay, and without further ado, let's just jump into it and watch the video, and then we'll discuss what we see so far.
Inventive, quirky, Doom.
Anything and everything goes in the book.
Malakai is kind of this ranged king of a character. He buffs artillery lines and he's really good at striking from a distance.
Let's sit back, have a tea and a biscuit, and watch the fireworks. Caught between two worlds, the Slayer and Glorious Death, and the Engineer who loves to tinker, Malakai Makaisson is truly a force to be reckoned with. Malakai starts in control of Karak in the Giant Home Mountains, with Norskans to the west and east, Rats and Kislev to the south, and a whole host of demons to the north. There's no better testing ground for a genius engineer with a death wish. But that's enough about me. There are munitions to enhance and airships to fly. Many, many, many grudges to settle, and a whole buffet of exciting adventures to sink our teeth into. We might even meet a glorious death, but for now let's deal with Dungrut and learn more about Malakai.
Malakai is a really interesting character. He mixes being a slayer and being an engineer into a kooky little box.
He's a bit of a fan favorite, but he wasn't featured in that many Games Workshop books.
His playstyle is all around building a lot of artillery and missile units and pushing them to their limits.
Malakai is kind of this ranged king of a character. He buffs artillery lines and he's really good at striking from a distance. Where he kind of falls down is in close range melee combat, where he can't really hold his own.
You might say corner camping is a cowardly move, but I'm playing the waiting game. My cannons and gyrocopters have done some nice work, aided by Malakai's buffs. Gotrek and Felix are supporting the front line, and the Thunderers are picking off any upstarts getting too close. It's time for the main event. Let loose the spirit of Grungni. I can only give it basic orders and it doesn't stick around for long, not yet, but that's fine by me. Let's sit back, have a tea and a biscuit, and watch the fireworks. Tactical advantages abound, with the spirit of Grungni forever flying above us. Design insight shortly, but first, let's nose around. Ooh, look at that, we've got building options. Recruitment provides us with a limited number of units that we can recruit from anywhere on the campaign map. This also relates to any of our lords in the Spirit of Grungni's radius. Compartments aid in things like campaign movement, production, recruitment slots, unit experience, army upkeep, and increasing the time the Spirit of Grungni sticks around in battle. The Spirit of Grungni is tied to Malakai and gives him an immense advantage on the campaign map as well as in combat. Used at the right moment, and the spirit can mean the difference between victory or defeat.
So the Spirit of Grungni is kind of this call-in power that we've never really had in Total War Warhammer before.
The Spirit of Grungni forgoes the weakness of the Thunder Barge, which is getting into position. The Spirit can drop in at any place and unleash hell. Malakai will speak to the dwarf players that are looking for something a little bit new. A lot of our existing characters don't have that same pushing their boundaries and inventiveness that comes with him. Also, these adventures are really thematic.
To fulfill the fantasy of a slayer, Malakai can set out on epic adventures which unlock in turn 5. But the constant pull of machinery is the lifeblood of any true Dowie, and Malakai has perfectly married these two vital parts of himself. To that end, adventures are paired with a type of unit. These units are highly recommended to use during the related adventure because when the axes are drawn, they'll give us a significant tactical advantage. We can use the higher adventure units mechanic to recruit a limited number of these units, even if we haven't unlocked them via the buildings tree. Every adventure has 6 independent objectives to complete, each upgrading the associated unit differently, but only 3 objectives are required to unlock the legendary battle. The more we complete, the stronger our unit becomes.
Malakai's campaign really plays into the adventures he had with Gotrek and Felix. You'll be going around the world, collecting technologies and fighting these awesome battles.
And as part of that, we incentivize you to upgrade some units which will be pretty pivotal in the success in taking on that beast. Malakai is different from other Slayers. Most of them are desperate to fulfill their oath. He's got some things to tinker with before that.
As I've completed all 6 objectives, ever the overachiever, the legendary battle is unlocked. Before we go face our potential death, let's have a wee peek at the changes to the Dowie tech tree. I love trees, and now we've got 2 distinctive ones, guilds and clans. As we've been playing more aggressively, I've gone full throttle into the clans tree to give us every edge when the grudges start grudging. Check out the blog to see the full changes to the dwarf factions, or stick around and watch me shoot this cannon. Oh, silly elves, you can't beat my turtle formation. They're cavalry sneakily trying to get to our cannons. Thankfully, we have a shield of miners. No, you're not supposed to go behind the miners. I'm going to pretend that's not happening and summon the spirit of Grungni. Yep, I've already dropped the ball here. These horses aren't going down. Maybe the Thunderers can help. It could be worse, at least the dragons aren't here yet. There they are. Yeah, there they are. You know what? This is fine. We've still got 1 cannon. We only need 1. I hope.
Nothing can stop us!
Except the dragons. Get them, Felix. Right, well, that could have gone worse, but with the dragons dealt with, we're on the cusp of victory. 1 adventure down. A close victory means more adventures to fulfill my oath. Jamek Grimbrow, our demon slayer lord, has already started around her fisticuffs with the Chaos Dwarf, so I suppose I'll start working on the Dreadquake Destruction adventure. And, as I started a new adventure, that associated unit becomes open to me through the Higher Adventures unit tab.
Malakai's fantasy is one of really 2 halves. He's a slayer, but he's also this eccentric genius engineer. So for players who want to tinker with all various types of dwarf technology whilst also adhering to the strict rules of the Slayer Oath, this is your guy.
I haven't mentioned it up till now, but our more perceptive viewers would have noticed the different numbers over the heads of characters and settlements. No, we're not ranking them, though Malakai's an obvious 10. This is the update to the grudge system. We wanted the grudge system to play a bigger part in dwarf campaigns and have a larger impact. To achieve this, grudges now work over a cycle of 10 turns called the Age of Reckoning. The number looming menacingly over a character's head indicates how many grudges they've incurred. Throughout the 10-turn cycle, we want to build the highest number possible. The more grudges settled, the better our potential rewards in both campaign buffs and access to grudge settler units will be. Grudges can be incurred by different means. Someone occupying a dwarven settlement that isn't a dwarf. Trespassing. Raiding. Attacking. Looking at me funny. Asking annoying questions. Not saying thank you when I hold the door open for you last Thursday, Andrew. And factions alliances. Anything and everything goes in the book. Speaking of, the book's had a small makeover. It now has tabs. Let's flick through them. Legendary grudges are long-term campaign goals offering powerful rewards. Completing Retake the Realms, for example, gives you a hefty chunk of settled grudges and reopens the Underway, allowing quick and easy passage around the region. In the Legendary Lords tab, we can compare our settled grudges against our fellow Dowie, and, if formidable enough, confederate them. Finally, The Grudge Settlers tab gives us an overview of all the Grudge Settler units and at what grudge level they're unlocked. Once an Age of Reckoning is done, you have the choice to take a 10-turn break from grudging or immediately jump back in, righting wrongs.
We took a look at the grudge mechanic and thought the flavour was there, but the gameplay was a little stagnant. So we've added some more dynamism to how grudges are distributed, so you can always see who needs a grudgeon.
Malakai's glorious death eludes him still, but perhaps not for much longer. We've stress-tested our gyrocopters and tweaked them silly. We're now ready to face the Dawizar in a battle that will no doubt be remembered in song. Or at least interpretive dance. Time to prove these Hashut-worshipping fiends are no match for a true Dowi's engineering prowess. We'll close the gap and try to tease them forward with sporadic cannon fire, but the Dawizar are as stubborn as their inventions are ugly, and they hold steadfast for reinforcements. The convoys arrived, so we'll head them off with our gyrocopters. You know what, that's enough waiting. Our Doomseekers will lead the charge.
So Doomseekers are kind of like this elite Slayer unit, think aspiring champions, but on the Dwarf roster, they have this ability where if you push the button, they just spin around and deal loads and loads of damage. So with their dual chain axes, they're really going to cause some havoc.
Spinning! That's a good trick. One our Dragon Slayer hero unfortunately can't employ against such a massive foe. This unbreakable anti-large melee expert is committed only to a glorious death. But not today. Not with the Demon Slayer on the prowl.
Demon Slayers are kind of like these chaff blender units, and what we mean by that is they're great at taking out large groups of condensed infantry.
Ooh, look out, here comes Garagrim Ironfist, your legendary hero.
My favourite thing about Garagrim Ironfist is that his axes are chained to his arms so he doesn't lose them.
An anti-infantry melee specialist, Garagrim's quite fast. For a dwarf.
We demand blood!
The front line's getting a little hot for the Thunderers. We'll pull them back to give them some breathing room.
Thunderers are dwarfs that are trained in the use of firearms. Thunderers have been in the game since Warhammer 1, but now we're introducing a weapon option that allows them to take the Grudge Raker, which is a type of shotgun.
Away from the bulk of the battle, our gyrocopters and the Spirit make short work of the incoming reinforcements. A good thing too, because we've just unleashed the Slayer Pirates.
Slayer Pirates were first introduced in Dogs of War and later in Storm of Chaos. They're kind of these cutlass and pistol-wielding badasses that drink rum filled with gunpowder and iron filings, so pretty sus.
We didn't quite manage to catch the train. That's not a pun. And it's wreaking havoc with the Thunderers. Time for the Goblin Hewer.
The Goblin here is a spinning construction of death and mayhem that fires axes at rapid succession at the enemies. Once the ammunition has all been depleted though, it's also crewed by Slayers, which then run headlong into the battle.
With the Hewer's help, we've managed to pull the Grim Delvers back. Add a shanty from the long-drong Slayer Pirates, and a war cry from the Brotherhood of Grimnir, and the front line is all but secure. Let's unleash the Thunderbarge.
The Thunderbarge is the ultimate expression of Dwarven air power. It's got 2 cannons, it's got loads of gunners on it, it's got 4 bomb bays, and it's also got a giant harpoon that it can fire from the main balloon part. It is insane, and it's really going to change the face of the Dwarf playstyle.
Demon-infused war machines, foul Hashut magic, pathetic. Look how our corrupted cousins flee before the might of Malakai Makaisson.
Oi! Ugly!
Alas, our victory falls hollow for the master of innovation. A glorious death has escaped Malakai once more, and we can only curse our exceptional talent for this grave injustice. What's this? Could it be? Was this the last of Malakai Makaisson's adventures? Has our hero met the glorious end he has so desperately sought? Or will you see just how far his inventions will take him? Thoughts, comments, biscuits? Share them below or follow our links to wishlist now.
I actually enjoyed that trailer, that showcase. It shows many things that I have predicted that may have happened, according to what the paper say, the blog. And other events that some of them did caught me off surprise, but in a sense that, yeah, I was expecting that anyway, to work out that way. We'll go over what I was speaking about. So those who have yet to watch my previous video, which I uploaded from Malakai Makaisson blog video from previous from this, I do recommend that you check that out too, so that way you could get a better understanding of what I was talking about. So once again, just like the other two Legendary Lore, we are going to check out the video once together, so that way we can discuss what we're seeing here and what what I mentioned that pointed out with the blog, especially with the trailer as well. So starting from the beginning. All right, let's start from the beginning. So starting right here, that you will see the great book of grudges. It'll show a little bit later, better in detail, but we have mentioned that they are going to get a rework based on the Malakai blog on the previous video. What they have yet to mention that there will be tabs now to make it easier for us to actually go through, which is really nice touch to deal with, because very similar to when you're trying to look at the end credit for the faction that you have beat in the Realms of Chaos. It's very similar to that, but they're separated with Legendary Grudge, Legendary Heroes, Grudge Settlers. So we'll talk about that once we get to the main part of it. We'll show more detail of it. So North Scales to the west, Demons to the north, Kislev and Skaven's going to be to the south. So the interesting part is, great thing about it is that you have variety of enemies to deal with, just on your starting position. So that's great, because now you don't have to just focus on killing one race at a time. There's some faction that you have to just kill several races, like Moses Stenkia. You pretty much go against a lot of Dark Elf, but if you choose not to do so, you can actually finish your Dark Elf starting enemy, and then go after the high elves if you want to, or whatever, or beat up the vampire coast. But there's only little of them, so you're majorly surrounded by dark elves. So that's in the Realms of Chaos. I don't know about the Immortal Empire. I'm not familiar with that. Wait, I got the shit backward. I think it's the damn. I think no. Then that's not Immortal Empire, because Count Noctilus is not in the Realms of Chaos. Yeah, what the fuck? Okay, but it's something like that. That's keeping nice and good, and it's easier for him. Is very good for him because of his grudge system that is going to play out. So you'll see.
There's no better testing ground for a genius engineer with a death wish, but that's enough about me.
All right, so quickly we see here that his active ability, which we had talked about, is called a deranged munition. So I thought it was going to be like a type of weapon, ammunition that he could select and then it switch over, but not really. It's just an active ability that he imbued magical attack, armor piercing missile damage plus 50%, base missile damage plus 50%, range 100 meter, duration 30 seconds. For 30 seconds, nice. Cooldown's 90 seconds. Now, there might be a chance that you could actually have a skill point that could actually decrease those cooldown. Maybe, maybe not. But it affects units one unit at a time, and it affects only if there's a missile attack possible. So I'm guessing there might be a chance that if they ran out of ammunition, it won't work on them, which makes sense if you don't want to waste it on a unit that don't have no ammunition, and then you just waste your ability on that by accident or not.
There are munitions to enhance an airship.
And then we have a trait. His trait will be called Spirit of Grundy, which is Malakai's army has access to the Spirit of Grundy airship building. Now we'll talk about the airship building once we get to that point. Ability to range munition. So I'm guessing that's his. Really, that's his trait for it. Should have been just, there. And missile strength plus 20% for artillery, flying war machine. So it doesn't say nothing about missile units because he did. I think one of the, I don't know what their position is, creator or tester, that mentioned missile units, which is not entirely true. Maybe they thought about doing it, or maybe he does have something that can boost it. It's just not going to be his trait, that's for sure. So maybe I'm overreaching that part.
To fly. Many, many, many grudges to settle, and a whole buffet of exciting.
Okay, so it seems like, wait a second. This is on turn 1, so I'm guessing you start off with Gotrek and Felix. Interesting. That could be possible, or maybe it's they just happen to have it there just to test out the unit. But it might be possible that you start off with Gotrek and Felix. Also, it seems like you start off with Doomseeker, 2 miners with explosive charge, 1 Thunderer. So we'll talk about that later. And then with 2 and Gyrocopter, but I think this is the one that shoots flames, and 1 cannon.
Learn more about Malakai.
Malakai is a really interesting character. He mixes.
Oh, so he's the
Slayer and
lead
being an
designer.
engineer
Oh, okay.
Into a kooky little box.
So, they're brimstone guns. That's what they call. Okay, I don't think that's new.
He's a bit of a fan favorite, but he wasn't featured in that many Games Workshop books.
His playstyle is all around building a lot of artillery and missile units and pushing them to their
You see what he said, like artillery and missile units. So I guess they meant to say either War Machine or that he do complement missile units as well in his army. So let's listen to him again.
His playstyle is all around building a lot of artillery and missile units and pushing them to their limits.
Okay, maybe that's the
Malakai
case.
is kind of this ranged king of a character. He buffs artillery lines, and he's really good.
Okay, so we got Malakai Makaisson, missile specialist. So I knew he was going to be something similar, but based on you see, he got decent melee stats for a missile unit. So I knew it was going to be like a specialist or something like that. And you see, ballistic expert. I wasn't fully aware of what that is, so I wouldn't have guessed it. Armor-piercing missile, fast forward dwarf, 42. He says fast as what? Vlad or something? Unbreakable, which his leadership's at 100. And he is, so he considers short. Yeah, I'm going to mention that all the time. No armor. Speed 42, as I mentioned. Melee attack is 55. Melee defense is 45. So, yeah, that's a decent stat for a missile unit. Lord. Weapon strength 400. Also, once again, very decent. Most other lords will have like 300 something, like 350, 357, like around there. No, I'm thinking about the sorcerers and stuff like that. Charge bonus 30, ammunition 30. Got nice ammunition. Range 180. 180. Actually, that's really good because High Elf's basic range is 180, and I think Wood Elves have the most have the highest range of them all. Missile strength 390 with armor, obviously armor piercing missile. So got some few ability which encourage get wounded, obviously missile resistant, spell resistant, siege attacker, and it's got some other ability that may or may not be talking over in this.
Good at striking from a distance. Where he kind of falls down is in close range melee.
Don't forget he got a
where
triple
can't really
battle.
hold his own.
So
You might say
there might be a chance that he hit 3 times at once, or he just do more damage. Well, he does more damage because of those 3 times.
camping is a cowardly move, but I'm playing the waiting game. My cannons and gyrocopters have done some nice work, aided by Malakai's buffs. Got
Okay, deranged ammunition. Munition. So how he? Let's see how he used it.
Drek and Felix are supporting the front line, and the
Yeah, it
Thunderers
didn't
are
even show.
aided by Malakai's buffs. Got Drek and Felix are supporting.
Yeah, he clicked on it, but it doesn't show. So I don't know if he just placed it on them or it placed on his. No. Yeah, I think that's you're supposed to place it on someone. So this is interesting because you see Gotrek. So they say Gotrek and Felix have gotten a rework, and we'll look over that on a update patch. Melee specialist, health like closer to 6,000, armor, no armor, leadership, so he's unbreakable. 42, guessing he's fast for a dwarf. Melee attack 75 with a magical attack. Melee defense 55. Weapon strength 480 with anti-large and armor piercing. Charge bonus 65. Really good. Yeah, there's the unbreakable, missile resistance, spell resistant, encourage. I'm guessing this is like charge reflection, charge bracing versus reflection or some shit like that. And I'm guessing this is a new ability that I don't remember seeing. Oh, maybe I did. I just don't recognize it. I'm not familiar with it.
The front line.
Doesn't even show it. He won't show it. So it might be new. They reworked it to something else. And then we got Felix, 41,000, closest 4,200. Did I say 41,000? My bad. 4,100. Oh, yeah. Like I said, close to 4,200. Armor 70, leadership 74, which is you got to be careful. Speed 34, slower than Gotrek. Melee attack 60 with magical attack. Melee defense 55. Weapon strength 380 with he's an anti infantry with armor piercing damage. Charge bonus 35. He got missile resistant, encourage. He got some bound. I think this is the one that you passive regen with units, not units, lords and heroes nearby, or it's just lord. It's one of those two. And I'm guessing this is his active ability. You can see on the right that you see Spirit of Grungy army ability, which I mentioned before that that's what's going to be like. And I did mention about the campaign that might be how it would look like. But not in this. I guess I was wrong in the sense that it may look like Garden more. No, I mentioned that about the network. So that's something else.
The Thunderers are picking off any upstarts getting too close. It's time for the main event. Let loose the Spirit of Grungy.
And it looked like once it spawned in, it drops a payload. Unless he's just doing it on at that moment. Now, I mentioned about because they talked about the harpoon during the blog, and I was looking at the picture. I was like, "There's no way you have a harpoon because I seen nothing that could come out. Maybe their attack ammunition, their ammunition was a harpoon, but then they show it the harpoon, and it kind of makes sense. Which, in theoretically speaking, schematically speaking, I don't know if a harpoon would work like that, because the way it will have to shoot out all the thrust and the kickback and stuff like that, how it will work inside is just very confusing. So yeah, it just blows my head. This is funny.
I can only give it basic orders, and it doesn't stick around for long.
So basically, I was correct about that. His main weapon is the cannon. It doesn't show it. Wait, yeah, it should show it because he's clicking on it.
But that's
So it's called what the hell? Let me see if it show it.
I can only give it basic orders, and it doesn't
There you
stick
go. Yeah, trying to be slick. So
for long, not yet. But that's fine by me. Let's sit back, have a tea and a
yeah, you
biscuit,
see how much
and
damage
watch
he
the
took.
fireworks.
Yeah, he's dropping payload. What the hell? Maybe that's the
Have a
ability.
tea and a biscuit, and watch the fireworks.
Or is it random? Oh, notice that he said he can't control it for long, so I'm guessing there's a cooldown or summoning him. But later down the track, you can actually upgrade that.
Tactical advantages.
Oh, and
abound.
the fact that you could use it first thing in your first battle is totally overpowered.
With the spirit of Grungni forever flying above us.
So this is what I'm talking about. So I thought like it was like you'd be able to be transported in an airship and then just go in elsewhere, like Final Fantasy, pretty much. Like which one that I played? I think it was Final Fantasy 4 I played. And then you just like go on an airship and you just like do 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 do, and then you like have to text them or something. I don't know why I say it like that, but I thought it would be like something like that. But you actually just walk like a peasant and yeah, just follow you basically. Like it would have been interesting. I don't know. It would have been interesting that you actually in the ship. So in my opinion, I feel like this is like similar, like very similar to the Vampire Coast when you go on sea and you turn into a ship. You turn into a ship. You aboard the ship and you build stuff in it. And I think you could do it on land too. I don't remember. It's similar, very similar like that. That's how I see it as. Now, if you want to go on water, what he does he turn to a ship or does he like jump into the airship? Or would it go on the on water or to be on sea, or like will he jump in there and float? Like why didn't it show that animation though? That would have been interesting
Design
to see.
insight shortly, but first, let's nose around.
Okay, so you see, just like that. It's very, very similar to the Vampire Coast, which I dig it, but at the same time, I would have liked it that if they. Oh, okay. I guess I see why they wouldn't have done that, because then it'll be unfair for the enemy to try to target you. That could be the reason why. Who knows? Maybe down the road that after upgrading it or researching something, that you could do something with it. Yeah, that might be the case.
Oh, look at that. We've got building options. Recruitment provides us with a limited number of units that we can recruit from
Yeah,
anywhere on the campaign
you see
map.
this? Just like the Vampire Coast. I'm not mad about that. It's pretty cool. I like it because it's a mechanic. It's a feature that you had with old race, and you put it onto a new character, but with its own style, such as an airship. Like if he happened to do the same thing but with a ship, I'll be pissed. I'll be like, yo, are you serious? You just copy and paste. But you literally copy and paste, but turn it into something more innovating in this matter.
This also relates to any of our lords in the spirit
whoa,
of Grungni's
what is that?
radius.
Oh, no,
Recruit
that's
from
artillery.
Anywhere on the campaign map. This also relates to any of our lords in the spirit of Grungni's radius.
Engineering, okay.
Compartments aid in things like campaign movement, production, recruitment.
Engine room, campaign movement range plus 5%, duration before unbinding plus 90% for Spirit of Grundy and army ability. Thunder burner upgraded for the Spirit of Grundy. So that's cool because okay, so they upgrade. These are the upgrade that will let them not only that you keep them in battle longer in the fight and have the ability to you upgrade the ability of Thunder Burner for your Spirit of Grundy. So those who don't remember this ability that I mentioned in the blog, it's pretty much a boost of speed. But it mentioned that the cost of tearing it apart or some shit like that. So I don't know if it damaged your health or anything like that, or caused any damage, or immobilize you in such a way like it. Similar effect to it. Could be one of those two latter. So I'm not familiar. I don't see. Oh, hopefully that he shows the other ones.
Slots. Unit
There,
experience.
okay. Signals system, airship crew recruitment capacity +1, circle of influence size +20%. What is that? Circle of influence size. Oh, interesting. What is that supposed to be like? So what do you mean by circle of influence? Like, no. I'm thinking, that's interesting. I can't give my thought on this yet because I feel like it's more like Okay, so it's like I feel like it's more like the what's that shit called? The camp from the ogre camp, ogre kingdom. That circle of influence, and I feel like it can increase a little bit more, and it influence whatever I think an army or maybe even a settlement of your own is such a way. That might be what it is.
Experience.
Oh, and like similar to the Black Ark too. I never played well, I'm not gonna lie, I did play Rakov, so I'm a little familiar with the Black Ark.
And increasing the time the Spirit of Grungni sticks.
Mess hall, Dwarf beer, resource production. Already you got to trade resource, or do you automatically get that? No, I think no, I don't think so. Either way, this is good because you get an upkeep for 10% on tier 2 and a recruitment of 20%. That's 1/5 of the price.
Sticks around in battle. The Spirit of Grungni is tied to Malakai and gives him an immense advantage on the campaign map as well as in combat. Used at the right moment, and the Spirit can mean the difference between victory or defeat.
So the Spirit of Grungni is kind of this call-in power that we've never really had in Total War Warhammer.
Oh well, I'm sorry guys. They gave a better description for it.
Before.
The Spirit of Grungni forgoes the weakness of the Thunder Barge, which is getting into position. The Spirit can drop in at any place and unleash hell.
Which is really interesting. Hold on, I think we missed something.
Drop in at any place and unleash hell.
Alright. Gotta keep in mind, they like to showcase little things and you not paying attention. So far this is Malakai, the king of layers of the Troll King. Isn't Dog supposed to be there? Or was it in Once of Chaos? That might be the case. Alright. So he got his wow, he got a lot of unique skill line here. Right now he got hold on. Actually he got 2 line. Here and here. So I'm guessing one is gonna be for the Venter, one is gonna be for his Slayer Oath. So right here at rank 12, unlocks hero recruitment master engineers, all province, just like Mother Stenkia. With her Hag Witch, not, she don't got no master engineer. Hero capacity +2, yeah, just like Mother Stenkia. I'm down with that. Research rate +10%, that's a given. I'm thinking like if I ever done this campaign, I'm gonna kill Garagrim for the fuck of it, just to get defeat trait, and she just like that. But if I'm not mistaken, I think someone else also give a defeat trait like that too. But I think he's far. I think is this Ica Claw? I'm guessing, but I think it's Ica Claw. And then you got a Death Blow, but you can have upgraded. So I don't know if that's new. But and not only that, it's automatic. So you don't have to put the points in. They just keep on going for the rank you reaching. Awesome.
Malakai will speak to the dwarf players that are looking for something a little bit new. A lot of our existing characters don't have that same pushing their boundaries and inventiveness that comes with him. Also, these adventures are really thematic. Boundaries and inventiveness that comes with him. Also, these adventures are...
Malakai Adventures Unlocked. There is surely no battlefield test for the war machine of the Dawi than the Slayer's path to doom. View the Malakai's adventure. Okay, never mind.
Really thematic.
To fulfill the fantasy of a Slayer, Malakai can set out on epic adventures which unlock in turn 5. But the constant pull of machinery is the lifeblood of any true Dawi, and Malakai has perfectly married these 2 vital parts of himself. To that end, adventures are paired with a type of unit. These units are highly recommended to use during the related adventure because...
So, one of the mission, he had to kill 800 enemies with cannons unit, and you get grape shot ammunition switch for cannon units. That's easy. So I'm guessing each of these rewards are correlated to each mission. But the thing is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 of them. And I'm guessing the other 2 will have other type of rewards.
When the axes are drawn, they'll give us a significant tactical advantage. We can use the higher adventure units mechanic to recruit a limited number of these units.
So here it goes. So it says here higher adventure units. So there's higher adventure units, and then there's grudge settlers,
Even if we haven't unlocked them,
and they're considered as mercenaries. So he's like recruiting 3 cannons at the cost of none and the upkeep of 160. Jeez. Like, what's the reason why the upkeep is 160? And I think it's because of the building he have. As a matter of fact, I think this is turn what?
use the higher
Turn
adventure
5?
units mechanic to
So
recruit
I can believe that he's already at tier 3. Oh, no. Never mind. Shut my mouth. He's at tier 1. But look at that.
a limited number of these units, even if we haven't unlocked them via the buildings.
Like, imagine you hired 3 artillery right off the gate. No cost.
Every adventure has 6 independent
It's,
units, even
let's
if we
not
haven't
stop
unlocked
there.
them
You also can hire, I don't know, I think this is the Thunder Barge right there as well.
via the buildings tree.
But there's no upkeep for it.
Every adventure has 6 independent objectives to complete,
Okay.
each upgrading the associated.
All right, so it's gonna show all of them. So this one, the next one is gonna be fight 1 battle with cavalry units in the enemy army. Oh, thank God! I thought he was gonna. I thought Sierra already fucked up. I was like, bro, you know, Dawis don't have cavalries. What the hell are you talking about? Reload time reduction plus 10% for cannons. All armies faction wise. Okay. The second one, third one would be
but only 3 objectives.
fight 2 battles in the region with mountain climate. Units. Okay, there's the 25% gain
required
experience.
to unlock the legendary
Complete the
pack.
dilemma. Change dwarf refugees. Interact with the marker to start the dilemma. And you got 2,500 gold with 100 of gold. This is one of the missions that I'm talking about that doesn't correlate the unit mission rewards.
Battle. The
And
more
then
we
this one, fight 2 battles against the high elves. So I'm guessing we're gonna have to piss off one of the high elves, or we could take out the one that, you know, that ain't shit. But they give you a recruit rank plus 2 for cannons. That's if you're willing to do that. But having high rank of artillery is a must, because the higher, if I'm not mistaken, the higher the tier for the artillery units, the more accurate they get.
complete.
And the
this
last one is ensure the following building has been constructed. Refactory. All right. And once again, this give you 2,500 treasury along with of gold of 100, which in together will be 5,000 treasury with 200 of gold.
Longer our unit becomes.
Malakai's campaign really plays into the adventures he had with Gotrek and Felix. You'll be going around the world, collecting technologies and fighting these awesome battles.
And as part of that,
He said collecting technology, so I don't know. Is you had to unlock some technology based on which by going somewhere?
we incentivize you to upgrade some units, which will be pretty pivotal in the success in taking on that beast. Malakai is different from other Slayers. Most of them are desperate to fulfill their oath. He's got some things to tinker with before that.
As I've completed all 6 objectives, ever the overachiever, the legendary battle is unlocked.
You
Before we
see,
go
he
face-
mentioned overachiever, so basically saying like you guys should have been done this like at a certain amount, minimum requirement to get this done.
It's our potential death. Let's have a wee peek at the changes to the Dowie tech tree. I love trees.
And then
I've got
this is the tech tree that we mentioned on the blog. That there's 2. One will be the guilds. The other one will be the clans. Now I couldn't tell which will be in the military and which one will be for the campaign or settlement provinces. I mean, due to the name itself. But it kind of makes sense when guilds are more like merchants and commerce, and clans is more tribes and military like. So it's kind of obvious as soon as I saw the sigil, the symbol of these, the icon. I'm sorry.
2 distinctive ones, guilds and clans. As we've been playing more aggressively, I've gone full throttle into the
So right off the bat, the first one you get a speed of 10% for infantry. That's funny as hell. So if you're dwarf are going 40 meters per second, they will go 44 meters per second. So meaning if your speed says 40, it'll be 44 once you get this done. Because it's one fifth of it. I'm sorry, 1/10 of it.
The clan's tree to give us every edge when the grudge.
And then right here we got range for Thunderers and Slayer Pirates. Missile strength plus 10% for both of these. Shows the who does a boost. I mean the units are effective.
Just start grudging.
I was gonna be surprised. Like I thought like the FLC would have been like Bugsman or something like that. But maybe we'll see that down the line. Reload time reduction for Crawlers and Rangers.
Check out the blog to see the full changes to the dwarf factions, or stick around and watch me shoot this cannon. Oh, silly elves, you can't.
So basically, he got wrecked because his cannons got wrecked because he decided that this was suffice with defending his rear, which is funny as hell because anyone would know that that's not a good defense, and that's not me shitting on him. It's just like I think he just did it just for the comedic reason and just to like showcase other stuff. And so you can see one of the other new units. He's gonna show it, so I'll just wait for it. And then here's where it shows the grape shots. This is exactly what I was talking about. This will be for the anti-large. I'm pretty sure. No. Yeah, okay, anti-large. But I don't see why it doesn't have this symbol for it. So this will be like for more like for anti-large units, for large units. And this will be, the grape shot will be more for infantry units. I don't know, it'll be good against monster infantry. Might be a little bit better. But like any monsters like ogres, like those the one that comes to 16, they're like a little bit large. So I'm guessing it's not gonna be useful because they're still considered as large.
My turtle formation.
Hold on, okay.
The cavalry sneaking.
I was hoping they were
trying to get to our
showcasing.
cannons.
You see?
Thankfully, we have a shield of
Yeah,
mines.
he's like, thankfully, he's just funny.
No, you're not supposed to go behind.
Which
them.
is really interesting. If I'm not mistaken, the miners do have armor piercing damage.
Miners. I'm going to pretend that's not happening and summon the spirit of
And then he
Grung.
used them on these range units, which is hilarious. Which is not bad, but the speed of this Spirit of Grundy it's going to take a while for them to actually back up the main force. So I don't know if that's a good call. It might be very helpful, but he is going after the chariots, which they do deadly damage. So it is something to watch out for. But I feel like your cannons could help out with that. But since this cannon is being under attack by cavalries, which everybody knows that's the Taoist #1 weakness. The majority weakness is the calves.
Yep, I've really dropped the ball here. These horses aren't going down. Maybe the Thunderers can help.
Oh, I got a question. So anyone who could comment down below and let me know, are the Dragon Prince any better now? Like, because I know the calves used to suck so much on Warhammer 2, but I haven't noticed anything different. I only noticed they were great because of Slanesh, but it's because they had their devastating flanker. So I can't tell with other regular cavalries.
It could be worse. At least the dragons.
And every time I had
weaker.
a cavalry, they were just basic cavalries, like the weak one that you'll use to run down units. That's it.
There they are. Yeah, there they are.
So in this, we see that we're going against 3 dragons and 2
You know
dragon
what? This
prince.
is fine. We've still got 1 cannon. We only need 1. I hope.
Nothing could stop us.
Except the dragons. Get them, Felix.
I didn't realize that's what he said. Who did he use? He was using Felix. I don't think that's a good matchup there.
Right, well, that could have gone worse, but with the dragons dealt with, we're on the cusp of victory.
I gotta show you that someone who watched this could, at least in my opinion, could have done better. And once again, I'm not shitting on the lead designer. I'm just saying. I'm pretty sure he just did this for comedic purposes.
One adventure down. A close victory means more adventures to fulfill my
You see,
oath.
this is that interesting part. Like now you go after, well, I would say now, wait, was it unlocked before? I don't think so, was it?
A close victory means more adventures to fulfill my
So I'm
oath.
guessing after you complete one, then you go after, or maybe it unlocks in certain ways. So we got the Chaos Dwarf, we got the green skin, as I mentioned, vampire counts, don't know, demons, Skaven. Like you see, the Skaven is the last one. So I'm guessing the Skaven is gonna be the ultimate one. Maybe that's why it's lock. That could be the reason why. And then we got rewards for gyrocopters. So Vanguard deployment for gyrocopters. I thought they do have those, but it's really great to have them. Unit experience gain 25%, missile strength 10%, attribute 360 missile block. Oh, missile block for gyrocopter. Okay, that's nice. Missile block chance plus 25% for gyrocopter. All right, it's not bad. I like that idea. Face the Chaos Dwarf in battle, fight in the wasteland climate, establish diplomacy with Kislev or Cathay. Interesting. Then you got legendary battle reward, glaive gun. I'm guessing. Well, the interesting part, what kind of quest item you get for your unique item for Malakai? Like where's it under at? I mean, like, what categories on? Like, is it weapon, armor, item, talisman, enchanted item, passive ability, emergency repairs for all gyrocopter and gyro bombers. Ooh, that's really interesting. Ooh, I would love to see that in action. And then you ain't gonna get that. And then we got the Goblin Hewer, so it makes sense to use that against them. And granted, when you start this adventure, you get to recruit them right away. Vanguard deployments of Goblin Hero. Stock for, oh wow, stock. Okay. Unit experience gain, recruit rank +2 for Goblin Hero units. Attributes, perfect vigor for Goblin Hewers. Why? You could put them in battle. Face the Green Skin in battle, fight in the mountain. Oh, wasteland climate. Hunt the Night Goblin search party. Interesting. Hunting. You get a Arachnarak trophy. Okay. Army ability number of use +1. I'm guessing for the Spirit of Grundy. 4 Thunder Barge. Hold on.
Jamek
Spear. Oh, hold on. You cum bucket. Stop it.
A close victory means more adventures to fulfill my oath. Jamek Grip.
Oh my God! You cunt. Oh my God. You really pissed me off. Okay, anyway, for Thunder Barge and Spirit of Grundy. So you get a +1 for the ability for Spirit of Grundy and Thunder Barge for Thunder Barge. So I'm guessing you have a unit called Thunder Barge, which is the airship, not the one that we're on, that's correlated with Malakai, but the unit that you actually recruit. And Spirit Grundy unit, so I'm guessing another army ability that you could use. And then we got the Vampire Slayer.
Jamek Grimbrow.
So we got the this one is gyro bombers. All right. Are there any difference? So what's the difference between gyrocopter and gyro bombers? Is one just focused on firing one thing? I don't know. I gotta play it. I gotta play it again to actually understand. Unit. Obviously the name. Don't be a smartass. Comments. I get it. The bombers want bombs, and the other one is the chopper, it's stuff like that. But relax. The reward will be 25% ability fire bombs for gyro bomber units. So I'm guessing it's another ability to get. Ability Skyhammer Sky Hammer firebombs for Sky Hammer gyrocopter. So gyro bombers. So I'm guessing an ability for the Regiment Renown version of the gyro bomber. So I'm guessing the Sky Hammer is the new Regiment Renown, or is something else. I'm not like I said, I'm not familiar. I haven't used any of the Regiment Renown unit except I think the first one, the minor. I don't remember. War save 10% for gyro bombers. Nice. They don't get a missile resist block chance, but they get a war save instead, which I like that. Enables a magical attack for gyro bombers. So I'm guessing you can use them in battle somehow. You face undead hordes in battle, fights in areas of vampiric corruption, weaken their necromantic powers. Interesting. Legendary battle rewards: Crimson Gemstone. It's a talisman. Flaming bombs, ammunition for Spirit Grundy and Thunder Barge units, which is really this is really good.
Wow, Demon Slayer.
Oh, you see, he didn't show it. What a scumbag!
My oath.
I wanted to know which one is it.
Grimbrow, our Demon
And he over. Oh my god, damn it!
Slayer Lord has
Wait, and to start these adventures, you had to pay for it.
My oath.
Yeah, so maybe in a way it's an expedition and you have to pay for the expedition to actually go along to it. That kind of makes sense because those who don't know that when you go on an expedition in real life, you do have to pay a lot of money to do it. Traveling, equipment, the people, meals, all that goofy shit.
Jamek Grimbrow,
And higher
Demon
the
Slayer Lord,
the
has already
more
started around a
expensive.
fisticuffs with the Chaos Dwarf, so I suppose I'll start working on the Dreadquake Destruction adventure.
Wait, what did he say?
Dwarf, so I suppose Grimbrow, our Demon Slayer Lord, has already started around a fisticuffs with the Chaos Dwarf, so I suppose I'll start working on the Dreadquake
okay.
Destruction adventure. And, as I started a new adventure, that associated unit becomes open to me through the Higher Adventures unit tab.
So you automatically get a gyrocopter
Malakai's
and
fantasy is one
gyro
of
bomber.
really two halves. He's a
Is that correct?
Associated unit becomes open to me through the Higher Adventures
Gyrocopter, brimstone guns,
unit tab.
and 2 gyrocopter. Okay, so there's 2 regular gyrocopter and then 1 gyrocopter but brimstone. So all in total 4 chopper. Now you may be thinking like, bro, I count 3. No, count again, motherfucker, because you start off with 1.
Malakai's fantasy is one of really two halves. He's a slayer, but he's also
Wait,
this eccentric
you start off
genius
with 1?
engineer.
How come I saw another one?
For players who want to tinker with all various types of dwarf technology whilst also adhering to the
Wait, what was that?
tinker with all various types of dwarf technology whilst also
Dreadquake destruction, fight the convoy army, yo, what the fuck is it? Sistit. Oh my god, what? This is not what it's supposed to be. Sistit. Wow, okay, thank god. No, I don't know. The black-hearted. Oh, even worse. Yo, rename this shit. I don't know why you have this shit. Anyway, reward ambush veteran. You got a attribute vanguard deployment for gyrocopter. Okay, this is one of the rewards.
adhering to the strict rules.
All right, so he got 1, 2, 3. Wait, what the fuck? He should have 4. Did one guy wiped out? You loser. He already, you see, he got the grudge settler units. Actually, not 1, 6. 5, I mean. And I think it's because of the, oh, this is a different army. Okay.
The Slayer Oath, this is your guy.
So I'm guessing you had to have another army. I mean, you had to have the army going against that Pacific race. And if you're not that close, you might want to, make one.
But our more perceptive viewers would have noticed the different numbers over the heads of characters.
And then this is the resource which is for the grudges. So he'll explain what these mean the higher they are.
Settlements. No, we're not ranking them, though Malakai's an obvious 10. This is the update to the grudge system. We wanted the grudge system to play a bigger part in dwarf campaigns and have a larger impact. To achieve this, grudges now work over a cycle of 10 turns called the Age of Reckoning. The number looming menacingly over a character's head indicates how many grudges they've incurred. Throughout the 10-turn cycle, we want to build the highest number possible. The more grudges settled, the better our potential reward.
You see, so I mentioned that during the percentage of the grudges, you get higher rewards, and I did mention that. So I didn't. What I was thinking, like I thought it would decrease a decay at a certain time, but I'm guessing this is throughout the 10th turn, and it'll keep on going and going. Now, you see more settled grudges required for this reward. Or, okay, I think I'm getting now. So, okay. But does it have to be specific with somebody, or it doesn't? I think it could be anybody. It's just as long as you're settling grudges, and whatever grudges you're settling with, just as long as you're getting the most out of it to keep on progressing towards the 100%, and you do that within the 10th turn. You have 10 turn to actually finish that up to 100%. So the more grudges you settle, the more likely the higher the percentage you get, and the more likely you the reward is based on the percentage that you at. So if it was at 75%, it will go from Trom to whatever the fuck is the next one, and then that shows that's your reward. So if it was at 45%, it wouldn't be at Trom, it'll be here, and then your reward would be less than this.
In both
like right there, Age of Awakening, this one's called Grom, 75 to 99%. So I'm guessing 100% is on a different level, because you got like a control plus 3 alt province, growth plus 25 alt province. So like you don't have to worry about growth if you're on this. Upkeep plus 25% for grudge settlers units, all armies. So these are grudge settler units, not all your units. Grudge settlers, crawlers, slayers, grudge throwers, lungbearers, lion drakes, hammerers added to your available grudge settlers mercenaries. So that's fucking awesome. Does it show 100%?
Buffs.
Oh, that's not Grum, that's Gorm. I thought that R was an M for some fucking reason. Then you get look at these guys, and they're 0 up cost, so you could just hire them right there and then. Now the question is, are their stat is any different than the regular one? As a matter of fact, the unit card is a little bit different. Well, no, not really. They're just painted red. I think that's what it is.
Grudges can be incurred by different means. Someone occupying a dwarven settlement that isn't a dwarf.
Oh, damn.
Trespassing.
Grudges incur. Grudges are incurred by non-dwarf faction for any transgression against any dwarf faction. Any army or settlement that incurs grudges has a portion of them applied to the rest of their faction, in addition to a smaller amount that is applied to other faction the dwarf liken to them too. Settled grudges are settled when you defeat any army or settlement with incurred grudges displaying on them. Settled grudges are accumulate to enable a confederation of dwarf legendary lord in the book of grudges and contribute towards your current Age of Reckoning. So that's also interesting. So I'm guessing you can also use the grudge reward for confederating, but also it's damn so much. So I'm guessing it's better that Sean is explaining it, because reading this will have so many questions.
Right.
Like you guys should see their transgression to them. Damn, hold on. There you go. Faction action 34, raiding 51, trespassing 69. Heh. Nice. Undead action. Oh, because it's undead. Khaled al Mantasnin. I'm guessing this is a undead death from the Arabs. I mean the Middle Eastern. I don't know why I said Arab because Arabi would be in more like an Africa type where Cetra is at.
Attacking. Looking at me funny. Asking annoying questions. Not saying thank you when I hold the door open for you last Thursday.
I'm assuming the last three is just bullshit. if it's not too if it's not obvious. So, and the weird thing is that there are grudges on here. So it's very interesting. Like what did it transgress against you that we're not aware of that could happen? And you can see he already took a help hit on turn 32.
And factions alliances.
Okay, faction alliance. So gain negative diplomacy. No, he just answered my question. Gain negative diplomacy 75. Kislev action 3. Positive diplomacy minus 53. Oh, settled. Okay. All right. So negative diplomacy. Okay. So they did something to you that they gained transgression.
Anything and everything goes in the book.
And then we got the retake the realm. So I'm very interested in this one. Enables underway network old world mountains and gray mountains. Like I really am interested how that work. Like is it similar like gold the garden more, or is it similar like the caravan but it works in a way you teleport each on a certain settlement? That's the question. That's my question because I'm not familiar with Dwarfs, as like I mentioned. And then here it's got unlocks the landmark building in Vows Unveil. What? Final War Avengers to destroy the following faction. Wait, what the hell? You had to kill off Everlon, Euris, and Etain? What did they do? Ensure the following settlements are owned by the Dwarf faction: Lorthan, Euris, Gaian, and Vale. What the hell? Wait, I thought the Dwarf is cool with the elves. I'm confused. Or is it Malakai don't fuck with them? Be it written that the Council of King bore witness to this grudge, declared by the Longbeard elders against the LG of Othwan. The war of vengeance may have long ended, but tales of the atrocities committed against us during the conflict still pass from generation to generation, festering as wounds that can never heal. For many Dawi, the phoenix crown that sits within Karak's Karak vault was not recompensed enough for LG insolence and Dawi losses. And Othwan should have been taken with it. It is not too late for a final reckoning. Oh, what the fuck? And it says that the phoenix crown that sits within Karak's vaults was not recompensed enough for LG insolence. So wait, are you saying the phoenix crown sits within Karak's vault? Interesting.
Speaking of, the book's had a small makeover. It now has tabs. Let's click through.
And there's 10 of those
Legendary grudges are long-term campaign goals offering powerful rewards. Completing Retake the Realms, for example, gives you a hefty chunk of settled grudges and reopens the Underway, allowing quick and easy passage around the region. In the Legendary Lords tab, we can compare our settled grudges.
So this is very interesting, and I feel like they should do this for all. I think I mentioned this on the blog that they should do this all race, not just faction, race, to do something that in their mechanic or in the resource, like you know how this one is grudges. So very similar to the Chaos Dwarf. They uses their seat to confederate those who got the most seat, and got the higher position get to be able to confederate other faction. And I agree with that. That's really cool because you don't have to haggle with let me confederate you with such diplomacy. I think every major faction should be able to confederate like something similar like this. And them doing it through this was a very great idea. It's beautiful. I think it's done right. Maybe it could backlash because of the Age of Reckoning, maybe. But I believe that this is a really good start, a good path to lead to actually, and it even show how many provinces they own too. Look at that. 1, 5, 6, 3, 7. Your father. Oh no, that's not your father. That's Balagan. Oh, I'm not even far from that. Hold on.
It's against our
Does it tell you? Yeah, it just tell you Confederate.
fellow Dowie.
And I'm guessing these the amount ranges from. Wait, what? Okay, so does it talk about why does it different? Is different from their price. So this one have 1 but it costs 4,000. This one has 5, it costs close to 7,000. But this one has 6 but costs a little bit more than 2,000. So will I explain that?
If formidable enough, confederate them. Finally, the Grudge Settlers tab gives us
Okay,
an
so like there you go. The Grudge Settler units complete each Age of Reckoning except LG adds the special mercenary to the Grudge Settler units panel for instant recruitment. Okay, and it shows here like the crawlers come in 80, 560, armors 80, leadership 64, speed 28, melee attack 24, 22, weapon strength 30, anti-infantry, weapon armor piercing, charge bonus 16, ammunition 22, range 160, missile range. Okay, missile strength. This is where it gets interesting. 18 anti-infantry bonus versus infantry of the missile strength. That's interesting. I don't think they have that. I don't think I've seen that one. And they have enable shield breaker with this, so maybe it does have a little bit different. It just like added on perks, but not higher stat. I don't think so. I think it just have perks to it.
overview of all the
Like
Grudge
this one got sundering attacks, passive ability, extremely daring death blow. That's another one.
Settler units and at what Grudge level
And
there
then
are.
this one is Grudge Door, but unit has sharpnel projectiles and it enables monstrous impact attacks. I know for sure Grudge Door does not do that shit regularly. So yeah, okay.
Unlocked. Once an Age
Like
of
it's
Reckoning is
really worth it to actually get these units. It's not just like some typical, oh yeah, you get here's some free shit, but you know, doesn't matter. But this one does matter. Like it's really good. And this one, like this unit Longbeard got Guardian, which is really good because we all know Longbeard and Ironbreaker are really great frontline units. And having Guardian with that, you could actually have your Lord or Hero right in between mix of it, and they just last even longer. That's freaking crazy. And they got the expert charge defense. That's beautifully done.
done.
Like
You have the
having
choice
perks that fits for their role is what matters the most. And then you have a choice when you could either have the new Reckoning, like once you're done with the Reckoning, you could either enter a new age, which it begins immediately, or delay the next Reckoning. Delay your next Reckoning for 10 turns. And it says here you will need to acquire 20% more settled grudges during your next Age of Reckoning. Now, I'm glad they gave you a choice to delay, you know, give you some time to rest. But I do not understand. I mean, no, I do understand. But it will cost you, it will penalize you for taking the break, which I can agree with. And what I don't agree with, why is this Ungrim face on here is studying Malakai?
take a 10-turn break from grudging or immediately jump back in, righting wrongs.
We took a look at the grudge mechanic and thought the flavor was there, but the gameplay was a little stagnant.
So the great thing about that, the way he how he say it, is that he shows he's saying that they have taken a look at, like, hey, the system is there, like what they intended for, but it's like it's not quite. It's something quite missing. Like there's no, like it's just there because it's supposed to be new to the race and to the game, but it's not new to every other new faction that is coming out. So it's just like very interesting. Like it's something like they seem like they're becoming more aware of these these mechanics that they have introduced before. I bet that's Talisman of Preservation. Cheater.
We've added some more
The Age of Rage, Sorrow Encampment. So I'm guessing either one of them have committed a crime. The Book of Grudges, Garagrim, Ironfist. I'm guessing he's the War-mourner. So I'm guessing you get him in a quest battle. Let me guess, rank 10. He have yet to get them. I don't know why. The eyes are grunny.
dynamism to how grudges are distributed, so you can always see who needs a grudgeon.
Malakai's glorious death eludes him still, but perhaps not for much longer. We've stress tested our gyrocopters and tweaked them silly. We're now ready to...
Alright, before you tweet them silly, okay, so he was mentioning because he was doing the quest battle for it. Okay. If that's the case, then that means these quests are going to be long. These campaigns are going to be pretty long.
face the
Like,
Dawzar in a...
he's already turned 44, but like I'm not saying everybody's going to be like around that time. Might take longer for some, might take shorter for most, but who knows?
battle
But he's
that will
only on
no
the
doubt
second
be
part.
remembered in song, or at least interpretive dance.
The interesting part is they didn't showcase more of the demon and the dragon slayer, so that was a shame. I guess because they weren't that important, they didn't show that much incentive, like what's different. I don't know. I guess they just want you to try it out, or they just ran out of time to make the trailer.
Time to prove these Hashut worshipping fiends are no match for a true Dowi's engineering prowess. We'll close the gap and try
I'm
to
trying to see the new units here, but that's fine.
tease them forward with sporadic cannon fire. But the Dawzar are as stubborn as their inventions are ugly, and they hold steadfast for reinforcements. The convoys arrived, so we'll head them off with our gyrocopters.
Like, this is very interesting, especially when you're Malakai. Like, having such an squadron that you can use to attack the reinforcement in the air helps a lot instead of trying to move your whole army against them. And it's very interesting to see that, like you could rely on such a squad to deal with the secondary objective, as we can say, or the reinforcements.
You know what, that's enough waiting. Our Doomseekers will lead the charge.
So Doomseekers are kind of like this elite Slayer unit, think aspiring champions, but on
Let's
the
look at the
dwarf
stat here. Doomseekers, dual X infantry, armor piercing, anti-infantry, fast forward dwarf, death blow, close to 9,000 health, 32 entity, it's a tier 3 units, no armor, leadership 100 because they're unbreakable, yep, speed 40, melee attack 54, magical attack, melee defense 48, weapon strength 55, anti-infantry with armor piercing damage, charge bonus 40. They got some rag on deployment, I believe that's what it is. They can hide, unbreakable, got spell resistant. I think all Dawis units have those. And I'm guessing this is the death blow and some other goofy shit. All right. Oh, that's the new ability that they could just jump in the air. They could use that to swing their axes and then jump in the air, which I mentioned that precisely that I describe how it's gonna work. I'm not very excited that I called that out. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was obvious that anyone could think of it.
roster, they have this ability where if you push the button, they just spin around and deal loads and loads of damage. So with their dual chain axes, they're really going to
Like this guy just dropped and then just sling himself into it. Yeah. So
Spinning.
interesting because of now you got more Slayer variety of it, such as the Dragon Slayers and the Demon Slayers, especially the hero. You're having you're having more option to deal with monsters units, and especially their flagship units such as the Kadai Destroyer, easily, because that's what they're good for. They live to deal with large units like that. So I would love to see how that play out, especially since Dragon Slayer and Demon Slayer are unbreakable, and they're basically they're slayers. So they're there to kick ass.
That's a good
Wait.
trick. One
Dragon
armed
Slayer, there we go. Melee specialist, armor piercing melee, anti-large, melee expert, unbreakable, 4500, no armor, unbreakable, so 100 leadership, speed 42, fast forward dwarf, melee attack 60, nice, melee defense 50, weapon strength 410, interesting, anti-large, and armor piercing, charge bonus 40. You got the flaming resistant as well. So this is the Dragon Slayer. Spell resistant, missile resistant, encourage, hide, embrace charge versus charge reflection. I don't know, some goofy shit, and some other stuff that you have. Foe seeker, and heroic strike.
Dragon Slayer hero unfortunately can't employ against such a massive foe. This unbreakable anti-large melee expert is committed only to a glorious death.
So to know the difference, Dragon Slayer is the hero version. It's the hero. Demon Slayer is the Lord one. I'm guessing killing a demon is more
But not today.
more
with
of
a
an
demon
achievement
slayer on
than
the prowl.
slaying the dragon.
Demon Slayers
And
are
these
kind
are the
of
Demon Slayer. We got the dual axe infantry, melee expert, unbreakable whirling axes, 5300. No armor, but they got bronze shield because they have dual axe, so they can use it as a defend themselves from incoming arrows. We got leadership of 100, which make them they're unbreakable. Doesn't make them unbreakable, but they have unbreakable, so they automatically default at 100. Speed at 42, fast forward dwarf, melee attack 65 with magical attack, melee defense 50, weapon strength 500, anti-large, charge bonus 45, siege breaker, spell resistant, missile resistant, unbreakable, hide, encourage, you can get wounded, foe seeker, heroic strike, some goofy shit, and some other stuff that you have. Death blow. Is it called Death Blow or World Axe? One of those two. Or even all of those, as I mentioned. But the interesting part is, wait, this is the Lord one? How come they have, like, heroic? I don't know. Do I have something? I don't know.
They're like these chaff blender units. And what we mean by that is they're great at taking out large groups of condensed infantry.
Ooh, look out, here comes Garagrim Ironfist, your legendary hero.
My favorite thing about Garagrim,
Garagrim, Ironfist, melee specialist, armor piercing, anti-infantry, fast forward dwarf, unbreakable, 5,000 health, short, armor, no, leadership, unbreakable, speed, fast forward dwarf, melee attack, 60, magic attack, melee, defense, 50, weapon strength, 420, yes, anti-infantry, bonus versus infantry, I'm sorry. Armor piercing, charge bonus of 50. Got some similar, same shit, but look like he has some few abilities that not recognizable. And I think that's another one here. I don't know. I don't recognize that one either. So that's pretty much good. That's pretty good.
Ironfist is that his axes are chained to his arms so he doesn't lose them.
An anti-infantry melee specialist.
Wait,
Garagrim's quite
wouldn't that
fast.
mean that you can actually like spam hero, demon slayers?
The front line's getting a little hot for the
That means
fighters.
Dragon
We'll pull
Slayers?
them back to give them some breathing room.
Thunderers are
Alright,
dwarves
so
that are
this is
trained
what I
and
got
useful.
wrong. So I thought they were called grudge rakers, but they are called grudge rakers. But the thing is, they're still thunderers, just a different variation of it. So these are quarter missile infantry, blunderbuss, which you see just like I mentioned, armor and shielded armor piercing missile, decent melee combatant, 5,680 health, 80 entities. It's a tier 2 units. I don't think so. And armor 80 with bronze shield, nice. Leadership 64, speed 28, melee attack 20, melee defense 28. Did it say decent melee? I guess so. There are. Weapon strength 28. Yeah, they're really decent. And when I say decent, take the D out. Charge bonus 4. Charge bonus 4. Jesus Christ, you suck. Don't even. Yeah. By the time they try to charge, they're already tripped. Ammunition 22, range 90. Oh, they're that close, huh? Missile strength 60. Armor piercing. Now, is that the same as the blunderbuss? I don't know. Can't compare it. I need to look into it.
Firearms. Thunderers have been in the game since Warhammer 1, but now we're introducing a weapon
Hey,
option.
do
that
they
allows
have
them to
reload
take
ammunition now?
Rotoraker, which is a type of shotgun.
Animation? No, ammunition. I meant to say animation.
Away from the bulk of the battle, our gyrocopters and the Spirit make short work of the incoming reinforcements. A good thing too, because we've just unleashed the Slayer Pirates.
They look so
Pirates were
badass.
first
I'm not gonna lie, the Slayer Pirates. Close quarter infantry, just like just like the one that in damn, what's that shit called? In the Empire, I think it's called militia or some shit. I don't know. It's the one that shoots and you could run with it. I don't know. It's those. It's like those one, the Empire version, and whatever. It hybrid units, fast forward, dual fire, death blow. Really, you got death blow? Huh. Firewall moving. Okay, just like the Ogre Kingdom version. Got 8,640 health. 80 entity. That's interesting. I think they have more health than the other unit. Armor, no armor. No armor. Oh, because they're Slayer parts. Okay. They're unbreakable. Speed, yeah, decent. Melee attack, 38. Melee defense, 32. Their stat is pretty high for a hybrid. That's for sure. Weapon strength 28. Charge bonus 26. Ammunition 6. That sucks. That sucks. Range 90. Missile strength 44. Armor piercing. That's really good. Yeah. Okay. I can see why they had to be good at melee.
First introduced in Dogs of War and later in Storm of Chaos. They're kind of these cutlass and pistol wielding badasses that drink rum filled with gunpowder and iron filings. So pretty sus.
We didn't quite manage to catch the train. I don't mean, that's not a pun. And it's wrecking havoc with the Thunderers. Time for the Goblin Hewer.
The Goblin here is a spinning
This is exactly
construct-
how I imagine they're gonna start attacking, because like that's the only way you can actually cause the damage, like continuous like rapid firing, not just throw it like one click at a time and just throw the shit. I mean, I can imagine that doing that too, but like in the momentum of things, like eventually these acts will just like fall off when you're just trying to sling them. But it looked
Action of
cool as
death
fuck,
and
I'm not gonna lie.
mayhem.
So specialist artillery, armor piercing missile, damage dealer, fast forward dwarf. Wait, what? Fast forward dwarf. Whatever it is. Are they not but they're artillery. Whatever. They're unbreakable. It's an unbreakable artillery. Nice. They come in 4. They're tier 3. Armor, no armor, but they're bronze shield. Okay. How'd that work? Leadership. They're unbreakable. They're pretty fast for artillery. I think they're like one of the fastest artillery, maybe. Wow, look. This okay. So their melee attack and melee defense is 38. I mean, melee attack is 38, and melee defense is 32. Weapon strength is 48, which anti-large. What the hell? How and why? Charge bonus 26, ammunition 2. What the hell? How'd that work? Range 80, missile strength 3,000, armor piercing. What? is going on. Like I got to see this in action because yeah, I just can't see it. Like what the hell?
There's axes at rapid
Like,
succession
look at
of
all
the
that.
enemies. Once the ammunition has all been depleted, though, it's also crewed by slayers, which then run headlong into the battle.
Like how many axes do you throw that counts as a volley?
With the Hewer's help, we've managed to pull.
Oh, so this is the one of the regiment of renown units because it does, like they said, like they introduce them, but they don't make it too clear that this is a regiment of renown unit, except by the name. And Grimm's Delvers, these are Thunderers, close quarter missile units, infantry. However, they're going to be, I think they're going to be very similar to like the Grudge Raker, Blunderbuss, armor and shielded. Armor piercing missile, decent melee attack. I'm pretty sure everything's gonna be the same, very similar. I think the missile strength is a little bit lower, and the difference is they got frenzy and they can shoot while moving. Oh no, I'm sorry, that's Vanguard deployment. What the hell am I talking about? Strider, I guess. Yeah, so I don't know if that's gonna be great or not.
The Grim Delvers back. At a shanty from the Long
Drong Slayers Pirates. So the Slayer Pirates Regiment of Renown version, hybrid unit, fast blah blah blah, same, pretty much the same stat. No, actually the melee attack and melee defense are higher, much higher, by like, no, is it? Let's look back. I'm sorry, we have to look back. Yeah, they're higher by like 10. But I'm thinking if it's by 10, I'm guessing it's because of the rank. Oh, I was just there.
And a shanty from the Long
Yeah,
Drum.
they're higher because of the rank 9. Other than that, they got one ability that's here that's unfamiliar, but that's about it.
Slayer Pirates. And a war cry from the Brotherhood of Grimnir.
Okay, so the Brotherhood of Grimnir, I'm guessing, and is the Doomseeker version, and let's see, same, yeah. Like the Regiment of Renown doesn't call out to me as much, like Elspeth Regiment of Renown units are really calling out to me, but these don't. It's just a little bit different, that's it.
And the front line is all but secure. Let's unleash the Thunder Barge.
And then we got the Thunder
The
Barge.
Thunder Barge is the ultimate expression of Dwarven air power. It's got 2
Flying war machine, gunship, damage dealer, fire while moving, always flying. Their health is like, it's at 13,000, tier 5, large entity. Armor, 120, leadership, 100. I'm guessing, nope, they're not unbreakable, but they have 100 leadership. Speed is 30, melee attack 20, melee defense 10. Here come the bullshit. Weapon strength 500. How? What? What is the 500 coming from? Armor piercing. Like I need to see what they're talking about. Like, does it hit hard or what? Charge bonus 15. Ammunition 140. Range 1. Missile strength 970. Now I know we talked about it, but I think it's very similar to the Spirit of Grundy. And let's see, I think the abilities is a little bit similar to it too, because it got a harpoon and disability that I'm not familiar with, that did not showcase as well. And then it shows the always flying trait ability, and just like the Skylancer, they have the Skylancer icon.
It's got loads of gunners on it. It's got 4 bomb bays, and it's also got a giant harpoon that it can fire from the main balloon part. It is insane, and it's really going to change the face of the Dwarf playstyle.
Like, you could have like a lot of Doomstack with this. Like, it's no problem. You could go with like a Doomstack of Doomslayer, or a mix of bunch of Slayers army, or you cannot do a Doomstack with Drug Raker, because it's not gonna work like that. You can do a Doomstack of Thunder Barge, and I don't think you could do a Doomstack of fewer Goblin Hero. It's not possible. I don't think so. But you could do a doom stack of Dragon Slayers for sure. That would be great. So once again, that was the trailer for not the showcase for the gameplay of Malakai Makaisson. Now, is he what I was expecting at first? No. Is that a good thing? Yes, because what I was expecting of him when I first read about him, not the blog, but by the DLC description, I was not excited to know about him. And I think it's because I know too little about the Dawi, and that's why I know more about Empire than the Dawi. I know more the Nurgle than the Dawi. Than when, even though the Dawi is an old race, according to the Warhammer game installment, and they've been there from the first one, so that just shows a lot. So. But I wasn't excited. Like I wasn't. Nothing brought interest in me. I'm guessing people were a big fan of their Slayers, and there weren't not a lot of how would you say, variation or ways to make them any better at that moment until now. Now they seem a little bit more distinctive, like as in better, especially with the legacy update, with the grudges update, with the rework, with the rework update, the confederation rework. I really like that. I like the idea of doing that. Selling the grudges will make it, like it makes sense. Like it's very thematic thematic for that. Hopefully the grudges like is for all factions. So I think that's what it is as well. And hopefully we see that a lot throughout all races, that they have their own way to confederate in their own mechanic. Like you don't have to go out of your way to actually do it. Like it's part of the mechanic to actually it's part of the feature, the race feature, to actually get to confederate. Just like the Chaos Dwarf, you don't have to go out of your way to actually confederate these three legendary lords. The other, I'm sorry, other two legendary lords. But in fact, you just have to rank up to get to that point, and it's very similar to the Dowry right now, that you had to settle grudges to a certain amount to actually confederate one of the legendary lords. Now the tricky part is it going to be random, the cost of confederating them, or is it because they settle grudge? It depends on how they settle grudge, and that's how much they cost. Now that could be how it works, maybe not. But would it work with other faction or other races? It could. Like let's say Corn. Let's say once they decide to make a DLC for Corn, the way it must work, they must earn a whole bunch of bone, like skull for the skull throne, pretty much. Or blood for the blood gods, like stuff like that, like something like who donated the most, who had the most blood spilled, who donate the most skull to the skull throne, like stuff like that. And that could be interesting to see down the road. Like it opened a path that there's new innovative way to play the game in the near future. That's what it looks like it's heading, and I'm up for it. It looks like this new DLC is up and running. It's unfortunate that I won't be. I don't have the early access. I wasn't able to have the early access because, as I mentioned before, the content creator program has been closed. And I guess I wasn't checking my email when they mentioned that, but I wasn't aware that there was another program called the Exalted program. So I already applied for that. I think like 2 weeks ago, like around the time when they announced the trailer, and I didn't know such thing existed. And I guess it's gonna take a month for them to actually to look over, and hopefully like they actually like just put me back in, and so I get more heads up to cover these things, because I'm actually covering this the same day that it's just coming out. So you're getting the same information that I'm getting. First reaction, same way, shit like that. But it just looked very promising. Unlike the Shadow and Change, it was a big difference. Like, like I said, like there's nothing. It's not that there's nothing bad for me to say about it. It's just something. It wasn't interesting. More positive things to say about it. The only thing I like about the Shadow Change is Yuan Bo. I love the state of matter mechanic, even though it's like too OP in a way, because yeah, you can actually cheese it by like farming, by sacking settlements and stuff like that, fighting and stuff like that. The thing is that stopping you from being overpowered is the cooldowns and stuff like that. But I think you could fix that. You could get that fixed somehow. Moses think it was interesting in a sense of hexing and cursing. I mean, hexing and blessing, but at the same time, it's the Actiona ambusher made it all the different, in my opinion. Yeah. And then the changeling, the changeling. You either hate it or you don't, or you love it. It's one of those two. You either like to fuck around, or you just dare to like fuck around, basically. Like you either fuck around for the bad good, or you fuck around for the bad. It's like one of those two option plainness. The idea is just to cause as many mayhem as you can, and just go on with life. Like you don't really need to get bothered by them. It's just like that's what interesting. But that's just showed the difference between Shadow of Change and Thrones of Decay. Is like such a big difference, because all the DLC is so hyped to the point like I want to play all three of them. Like Shadow of Change was not like that. Like I knew I wanted to play Yuan Bo when I actually played Yuan Bo. But looking at Tamarkon, Tamarkon, hopefully I'm saying it right, Aspeth, and Malakai shows that I do want to play all three of them. Malakai is still is the bottom. It was in the bottom at first. No, actually it was the bottom. It's just like, but it was like between Elspeth and Malakai, and I thought Malakai would be higher than Elspeth, but it seemed like Elspeth it reigned on top because of her mechanic and her feature. That's and I think it's because of her spells what makes it interesting. And it's not like her spells new. It's just that she combined her spell with her gunpowder units, which what makes it really great. And Termacom, the way his campaign works is about his chieftain and his new units that makes it even more powerful. Like there's nothing like too major new to it. It's just more like his chieftain will provide will pretty much help him run the world. And they can like in each of these chieftain like so powerful. Like Kais is powerful enough to lead his own army. Too bad it's not a hero, but he's a chieftain. Like it's too bad that you cannot like ungroup him into like to have his own army and stuff like that. But anyway, enough about that. But about Malakai, so far Malakai does bring in something that the Dawi is missing, which is being able to call in. They need like something to be supported, such as like Jalcater and stuff like that. Like they need to have something being military. Like all dwarf can be backed by artillery, but not like Malakai. Malakai can boost them up a little bit more. Especially with the airship and the gyrocopter, what makes it even much a big difference. Now, is this the answer to the dwarf? I may not know because, like, I don't know what really missing. I do know that they're missing. Like, I feel like they have Malachi has something that the dwarf is missing, and it's being able to help them with their flanks and their reinforcement problem. Like, you see how they brought in the reinforcement, but as a main army, like your foot, your infantry and stuff, that they're not going to be able to go over there and take care of them. They have no cavalry to answer their plan B, but you do have airships and war machines such as your gyrocopter to deal with that. You actually send them away from the main fight and to deal with them, and that's what's interesting and awesome. And these innovative new units such as the Hobgoblin Hero is very interesting to see. I would love to see them in battles and actually get my opinion about that, along with the Thunder Barge. Thunder Barge itself, I don't need to make an opinion. It look awesome. It's this unique colossal unit, such as like the equivalent to the Toad Dragon and what's Espeth? Oh, the land ship. So very similar to that. And so far the mechanic for his campaign is pretty interesting as well. With the airship, just like the Vampire Coast ships. As a matter of fact, I don't even think Vampire Coast didn't start it with that. It was the Black Ark. So Dark Elves started with that, basically. So let me stop with that Nabushi. But the thing is, the Black Ark couldn't land. It's more like yeah. So I'll give a prop more to the Vampire Coast, but I feel like Dark Elves did it first. But other than that, yeah, it's very interesting. I don't see myself playing Malachi the first, but if I had to play from the least that I expected to have the least fun, I'll play Malachi first. Elspeth second. Oh man, I don't know. It was between Elspeth or Tamarcon, because I feel like I'll have fun with Tamarcon. Because I feel like I don't have to like really think about it. Like Elspeth is more, you kind of have to think about how and upgrading your units to get stronger and stronger. Like, it's not in the bad thing, in the bad way. It's more like in the good way, because it's saying like you have more things to do. With Tomacon, you don't have more things to do. You look like you have to do stuff, do some quests for your chieftain. So I don't know. So stay tuned, because for the next episode, because I will be going over about the new updates, and I will be going over the free legendary lord that introducing with the update 5.0, along with the Nemesis Crown and such, whatever feature it does is bringing about. Other than that, then I'll make a separate video about the new Legendary Lord with someone who already covered it in a way that even Total War have approved to showcase it. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So to play, you might, whichever campaign I decide to do, I'll start doing it. So I got to show. So the question is, either I start with one campaign or I do all three campaign at once. So you'll see like an hour campaign of each faction per day. So if it's a Monday, you'll see Malachi, Espeth, and Tamarcon of those 3 days. Or you can see me just doing one campaign faction at a time, so that way you can keep focus on one at a time. Maybe do a little bit more than an hour, or not less than an hour, but more than an hour, or maybe an hour. It all depends on how we're feeling that moment and what we have achieved in that episode. That could be it. But enough of that. I appreciate those who watch this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, comment down below, and give your take on what you see so far. And if you are yet to watch my previous video, go ahead, check those out. Check my my channel and check out these old videos. Comment them. Tell me your honest opinion. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm trying to grow here, and I'm wanting to see like what can I do to better myself and the channel, so that way I can show the world how my way of doing things in video games. I will put a link down below for the actual trailer. And yeah, with that being said, this is Alpha Omega. I'll see you next time.